Hey guys, my name is Akimande Miri and I am your host for today's video, which will be expanding more on unnatural offenses. So do you know what unnatural offenses are? No? Come on, let's go. Let's go. Hello. Good afternoon, brother. Yeah. Brother, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Please, can you tell me, what do you understand by unnatural offenses?
Unnatural offenses?
Yes.
Unnatural offenses. Unnatural offenses. I think offenses that are not natural. If some unnatural offense, just as the word implies now, unnatural offense, an offense committed, a crime that is not natural, like let's say gay people. I think gayism is something that is not natural. So you get, it's against normal human sense because come out, it doesn't make sense. So gayism is not natural. It's an unnatural offense, my view.
Thank you. Good afternoon, brother. Please, can you tell us what constitutes unnatural offenses under the criminal code? I mean, the ingredients that constitute unnatural offenses.
Yeah, sure. The section 214 of the Criminal Code Act talks about unnatural offenses. And as we all know, unnatural offenses are those offenses that defy the order of nature. According to section 214 of the Criminal Code Act, there are three basic elements to unnatural offenses. The first is any person who has carnal knowledge of any other person defies the order of nature. The second is any person who has carnal knowledge of an animal. And the third is any person who allows a male to have carnal knowledge of him or her is liable for felony, can be convicted for felony, and is liable to imprisonment for 14 years.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, brother. Please, can someone be arrested in Nigeria for just being gay, even if they haven't done anything illegal?
Yes, from my opinion, I think explicitly Nigerian federal law does not explicitly criminalize being gay, but same-sex marriage prohibition act 2013 prohibits same-sex relationship or marriage, and being public display of affection of same-sex relationship or activities, or being identifying as being LGBTQ plus, can attract being arrested or prosecution.
Alright, thank you. Good afternoon, brother. Is it illegal in Nigeria for two men or women to live together as partners or get married?
I don't think it's legal.
So, can you give me the reasons for that?
Okay, by the virtue of section 1 of the Same-Sex Marriage Prohibition Act of 2013, section 1 subsection 1 says that a marriage between persons of the same sex is prohibited, and the rights that comes with it of a valid marriage is void. Also, there are some couples of sections in the act that backs what I say. In the virtue of then in registration of marriage, for instance, now if someone marries from abroad and comes with a certificate over here to Nigeria, it will be termed void since it has been made prohibited by section 1 of the act.
According to section 214 of the Criminal Code, is an offense committed by someone who has carnal knowledge of any person against the order of nature, or has carnal knowledge of an animal, or permits a male person to have carnal knowledge of him or her against the order of nature, and that such a person is guilty of a felony, and the person is liable to imprisonment for 14 years. And this can be seen in section 214 of the Criminal Code, subsection 1, subsection 2, and subsection 3. And like I said, the person is liable of a felony and is liable to imprisonment for 14 years.
The Same-Sex Prohibition Act explicitly prohibits the marriage or civil union between same sex, with violators facing up to 14 years imprisonment. This act also prohibits public display of affections between same-sex individuals, which they will be facing up to 10 years imprisonment. And this act also prohibits the operation of sex societies, clubs, or organizations, with individuals facing up to 10 years imprisonment. And it's also banned any form of advocacy or support for same-sex rights, including organizations or groups that makes or supports LGBT rights, with violators facing up to 10 years imprisonment.
In the case of Major Bello Magaji against the Nigerian Army, the defendant, who is a general of the Nigerian Army, was accused by the appellant for raping the appellant and 3 other men. And the court held that the offense is against the order of nature, because it is unnatural for men to have sex. Therefore, Major Bello Magaji is guilty of the offence against the order of nature and is liable for 14 years imprisonment.
The case Ezigbo against the state is about the appellant Ezigbo, who was convicted of raping 2 minors. So, on one night, the victim's mother saw her 2 daughters walking out together with the appellant. So, she called out to her daughters. The appellant ran away upon seeing the victim's mother. So, after questioning her daughters, the daughters confessed to their mother that the victim has been luring them to his shop and having carnal knowledge of them. So thereafter, he usually bribed them with sweets and money not to tell anyone. So the case was taken to the High Court. So after joint evidence and testimonies, the appellant was convicted of rape and sentenced to 2 years imprisonment with a fine of 500 naira. So it's additional in 3 months if he's not able to pay the fine of 500 naira. So the appellant was not satisfied with this decision, so he appealed to the Court of Appeal, and the Court of Appeal claimed the decision of the trial court. So he also appealed to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court also stated that there was no discrepancy in the decision of the trial court. So the Supreme Court also affirmed the decision of the lower courts. So at the Supreme Court, the bone of contention in which the appellant was holding was that the crime, which is rape, has not been directly linked to him. So the Supreme Court stated that him fleeing upon seeing the victim's mother has directly linked the crime to him. So the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal. The Supreme Court also stated that the actions of the appellants was very animalistic and callous, that the punishment was too small compared to the deed of the appellants. So with this, I can say that the actions of the appellants having carnal knowledge of minors on 8 years old and 6 years old is totally against the order of nature, and it deserves more than the punishment that was given to him.